Hello everyone, welcome back to Lower the Coins. Today we're going to go over a short-term outlook on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I wanted to bring you guys this video because I believe there's a volatile move coming and a lot of opportunity for a good short and long trade. So let's get right into it. So we're on Bitcoin here, and the first thing I'm going to do here is set up the FRVPs so we can see kind of where all the volume is lying. So I'm going to set one FRVP for this entire range and one for this upper range right here. So once we have that, you can see that the POCs are lining up. So pretty much when price breaks out above or below this POC, it's going to kind of have a more volatile of a movement. And I believe it's going to come down to fill this imbalance right here. And by imbalance, what I mean is this gap in this candle. This is known as a fair value gap, where there was a overpowering of, in this case, overpowering of buyers over sellers, creating a gap of liquidity. And you can see that by this candle right here. It's not covered by any wicks from the one below or above it. And you can see that these gaps very often get filled because we have one right here. You can see that this wick came down to fill it. So I believe there's gonna be something pretty similar here that's gonna come down and wipe out all the liquidity here and fill up this fair value gap. So we have this relatively equal lows right here. So I'm gonna mark that out as relative equal lows, REL. The reason there's a lot of relative equal, or why I mark out relative equal lows, is because there's a lot of liquidity that lies right here. A lot of people who went long here will set their stop losses right here. So this is definitely an area I am pretty interested in for price to come down and sweep. Then I am gonna mark a order block. So there definitely is a order block right here. This is a bullish order block, so I'm going to mark it green. An order block is just an area of high demand or supply. And you can find them by finding, in this case, the last 1 to 4 down candles before a large move up. So this would be an order block, and this would also be an order block. Although I don't think price will retrace back down here, in my opinion. So this is definitely the area of interest I'm looking at. And even if we take the fib, it looks like it's lining up with the golden pocket. So I'll take the fib here. Yeah, we're kind of in line with the golden pocket as well. And right here, we actually have a broken base, which is just a change of character or a break of structure in this area right here. So I'm going to mark this as a broken base. And I like to use broken bases as areas of confluence for reversals and hard rejections for price action. So I definitely like to mark these out. So in this case, I believe Bitcoin is going to fall here. And when it falls, I believe it's going to fall pretty quickly. We're going to see this and possibly reversal right here. I believe we're still in bullish order flow, and we are going to see higher prices on Bitcoin in the short term. But in the very near term, I believe we're going to go down. That's why I kind of want to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. And as far as entries, let's see. So as far as entries, this is how I like to find my entries. So we have a sweep here. We have a sweep of liquidity right here. And I'm going to mark that by X. And I'm just going to make the line red and make the line dotted. So that's a sweep of liquidity. And then we also have a change of character right. Actually, the change of character would be up here on this last white candle right here. So if we go down to a lower time frame, I can show you guys what I mean. So if we go down to a lower time frame, this candle sweeps out all the liquidity pretty much here and everything here, this whole area. And you want to take the last low. So you can see that, price action looked like this, and then went up here. You want to take that last low here. And if that low gets broken by a candle close, which it did right here, that is what is known as your change of character or your broken base. So, if I actually extend that out, which I'm going to do, what this does, it creates a zone of supply in this case, since we are looking bearish. and this entire area becomes a zone of supply. And since it's bearish, I'm going to mark this one red. So this is the area I'm looking at for a entry into a short. So in terms of price action, I'm going to go back to the 30-minute here. So in terms of price action, before this moved down, so let me move this over here like this. So before this moved down, I believe we'll see a little bit up, tagging into the zone of supply, and then we'll move back down here. And this is kind of the sniper entry I'm looking at, and yeah, this is kind of my short-term idea on Bitcoin. I don't want to get too into the details, as I do want to get this video out as soon as possible for you guys. So yeah, this is just my quick outlook on Bitcoin. Actually, there's one more thing I did want to cover, which is the VWAP. And I do want to see this on the weekly. So VWAP is actually right here on these relatively equal lows. So there is definitely a chance that we don't see the prices down here, and price actually can find support on this VWAP and return up here after sweeping out these relatively equal lows. So definitely I can see it here and possibly just see a kind of a wick down. So these are kind of my scenarios for Bitcoin right now. Definitely I would watch price action when it's clearing these relatively equal lows, as you know, if we develop a sweep and a change of character right here, you know, we're probably just going up and we won't see this level right here. So definitely keep that level in mind. I'm going to kind of draw these out like this, get rid of this, and then kind of just put this right here. So if you guys wanted to pause or screenshot, go ahead right now. And then I'm gonna go onto Ethereum. So Ethereum has been looking pretty weak in terms of price action since, you know, kind of these moves up. We're looking pretty bearish here. If you are a pattern trader, we are forming a bear flag. Like this. You know, something like that. I don't really trade patterns. I just use them to kind of visualize where the liquidity is. That's how I like to use patterns. So, but patterns are it's just a manifestation of, you know, of the order book. So definitely this is still a very bearish pattern. So we are likely to see lower prices here, and I kind of have the same idea for Ethereum. So we'll get started with the FRVPs. Oh, that lagged a little. And then I'm going to set the one for the range up top. And you see the POCs line up, and this is actually riding below the POC. And then I'm going to mark out the fair value gap. I'm just going to mark out the one, like kind of the amount that hasn't been filled yet, which is right here. I'm going to mark that gray. And you can see that this fair value gap exists in the volume nodes right here. There's a gap of volume right there. So now that we have that, we're going to see a couple other things. So I always like to mark out my relatively equal lows, which I have right here. I'm going to mark that as gray. Call that relatively equal lows. Pretty much all the liquidity right here is what I'm looking for to get swept. And then we have relatively equal lows down here that are more than likely going to get swept. And this would make sense since Ethereum's price action is actually looking, you know, fairly bearish. So definitely we can see a larger drop on Ethereum here, and yeah, hopefully we can catch this move back up. So we'll go over a few more confluences for these trades. So in terms of an entry into this trade, I do see this fair value gap right here, which will likely get filled before I move down. So I can see something, you know, kind of like that playing out. Probably have a larger move down. And then we'll look for some other confluences here. So I like to use a POC indicator to kind of find my POCs. So we can see that we actually have a lot right here. We have our weekly open and our previous week POC, our previous week value area high right here. those are the ones I'm actually mainly interested in. So I'm gonna get rid of that. So we have some confluencers right here. So let me actually label them. So this is the weekly open, previous week POC, and this was the previous week value area high. We'll mark these out and then get rid of this, and then we'll check the VWAP here. And I want to check the VWAP on the weekly, since this is going to be kind of a shorter term move here. So this is kind of lining up with Bitcoin as well. So we can probably see the VWAP, you know, do something like that. So definitely we can possibly see some sort of rejection right here after we sleep these relatively equal lows. So something like that is definitely possible as well. And if we get a reversal here, we're definitely on a move up. If not, we're probably gonna drop pretty hard here and sweep all of these relatively equal lows. And this might even be a wick. Definitely could be a wick, but hopefully it's not, and we can get a clean breaker structure and, you know, find a really good entry into bullish order flow right here. So this is kind of what I'm looking at for Ethereum on the short term. Small move up, and you know, we can structure our trade like this, probably put it above this high, and then take profits on these sweep of these relatively equal lows. And I would definitely take profits, you know, a little bit on the VWAP, a little bit on the clearing of the fair value gap, and then I'd probably take the rest right here. Let me actually do that for Bitcoin too. Actually, one second. And we actually have to go over a long trade. For a long trade, I definitely wouldn't set a limit for a long trade, but rather I would watch price action here. So pretty much what I would do here is watch out for the sweep, you know, which I denote by X, and then watch out for the change of character, which is this break. I'm gonna actually zoom in so you guys can see a little better. So like that. This is what I would wait for, and what this does is that it creates a zone of demand right here. Mark that green, and my entry would be right here. So this is what I want to see price action do, and I can give you guys a live example of that right here. So for example, get to a brush. So we have this sweep, and then we have the change of character, and then we have our tap into bullish or bearish order flow here. So let me actually zoom in so I can show you guys a little better. So right here is the sweep, and then right here, that is your change of character. And what that does is it creates a zone of supply right here. And I'm gonna mark that red. And you can see that we actually tapped into it via a very small wick right here, which confirms bearish order flow, which means we are going down. So we're gonna be setting lower lows and lower highs. Hopefully that was helpful for me to kind of visualize that for you guys. But definitely, I wouldn't set a limit order here. I usually don't like to set limit orders in general. But this is kind of what I'd be looking at for a short trade, and this is what I'd be looking at for a long trade. I'll be watching out for the sweep and change of character and entering on the bullish order flow. And let me actually go back to Bitcoin, and I'll do the same thing. Can I show you guys? So in terms of Bitcoin, definitely the same thing. I'm gonna watch out for a, like a sweep, and then change the character and retap right here into bullish order flow. In terms of a trade, for a short trade, we can set up short trades since we have a lot of price action. Once we get price action down here, I can definitely show you guys how to enter that. And if you guys do just want straight up trade callouts, you guys can join the Discord. I do have a Patreon link in the description down below, so definitely make sure to go check that out if you guys just kind of want the trades just like this just sent to you, and sent to you daily. And if you guys want to join a community of other traders, definitely check that out. But here, I don't want to get too into that, so let's finish up with this video, and I'll show you guys how to get into a trade for Bitcoin here. So in terms of Bitcoin, I'm gonna go down to the 5 minute. Actually, I'm gonna go down to the 15. I think 15 looks good here. So in the 15, this is our sweep. This could also be our sweep here, but now that I look at this again, this is probably like a sweep on the 1 hour, possibly even the 2 hour time frame. Yeah, this is like a 2 hour time frame sweep. And the larger the time frame sweep and change of character, the bigger the move. So definitely, since I don't think we're gonna be going like heavily down, what is the percentage? This should be like 6% from here. No, it's like 3% on Bitcoin. I think it was like 6% on Ethereum. But yeah, let me show you guys what I'm looking for. So on the 15, we have the sweep and the change of character. Mark that as a Y. And what we do is generate the zone of demand. I believe what I marked earlier was a zone of demand for the 5 minute. I kind of actually want to do this for the 15 right here. So this is the area I'm looking at. So definitely, kind of the price action I drew out earlier definitely is still valid. I would definitely set my short position. I would probably enter not on a wick tap here, but actually on the clear of this high right here. So I'll probably do something like this, or maybe even this high. Actually, not this high. You probably don't want to risk trying to get into the 5 minutes broken base or change of character. I think I would probably, like, the safest entry here would be right here. And maybe we do get just a little tap in. But in my opinion, I think we can get up to here for a better entry around 17-18 on the Bybit chart, and set your stop above this high, and then profits at this low down here, or at this order block down here. And definitely for take profits, I take some profits, probably take like most of my profits right here, 75%, and then I'll take the rest once it enters this order block right here. So let me go out a little bit to the 1 hour, show you guys this chart. And if you guys want to screenshot or pause the video, definitely go ahead. And I just want to say thanks for listening, and if you guys like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps out my channel a lot, so I really appreciate if you guys could do that. And yeah, if you guys are interested in the private Discord, definitely give that a look. And if you guys want more info, just let me know, and I can definitely get that over to you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, and good luck trading.